Today's Srimad Bhagavatam class speaker is originally from Lagos, Nigeria. He took initiation in 1986 from His Holiness Bhakti Swami. 2009, he accepted sannyas from His Holiness Jayapataka Swami. He now is based in the USA after being invited over to become part of management scientist. He preaches in many universities and conferences around the world. His Holiness Bhakti Vasudev Swami.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Naruttamam Devim Saraswati Vyasa Tatu Jaya Mudiraya Nasta Prayesa Badrisu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhakti Bhavaiti Naistiki. So Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 9, Text 3. The title of this chapter is Mother Yashoda Binds Lord Krishna. Shemam Vasapritu Katitate Bibhrati Sotanadam. Putras Nehasnuta Kuchayugam Jatakampam Chasubru. Raja Kasasrama Bujachalat Kankhanu Kundalecha. Swinan Vaktram Kabara Vigalan Malati Nirmamanta. Can someone try? You can chant in your own tune. Anyone to try? Ladies, So word for word translation, then translation and purport by His Divine Grace is confounded Acharya. Srila Abhachan Avind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Papa Maharaj ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. At least, if we can't even praise other devotees, we should praise Prabhupada, right? So word for word translation, Shemam, saffron and yellow mixed. Vasaha, Mother Yashoda was wearing such a sari. Pritukatitate, surrounding her large hips. Bibrati, shaking. Sutranadam, bound with a belt. Putrasneha snuta, because of intense love for her child, became wet with milk. I think they missed something there. The breast became wet with milk. Kochayugam, the nipples of her breast. Jatakampamcha, as they were very nicely moving and quivering. Subru, who had very beautiful eyebrows. Raju Akasa, by pulling on the rope of the churning rod. Srama, because of the labor. Bhuja, on whose hands. Chalat Kankana, the two bangles were moving. Kundale, the two earrings. Cha, also. Swinam, her hair was black like a cloud. So perspiration was dropping like rain. Vaktram, throughout her face. Kabara Vigalat Malati, and malati flowers were dropping from her hair. Nirmamanta, thus Mother Yashoda was churning the butter. So translation, dressed in a saffron yellow sari with a belt tied about her full hips, Mother Yashoda pulled on the churning rope, laboring considerably, her bangles and earrings moving and vibrating, and her whole body shaking. Because of her intense love for her child, her breasts were wet with milk. Her face, with its very beautiful eyebrows, was wet with perspiration. And malati flowers were falling from her hair. So please kindly respond, repeat. Dressed in a saffron yellow sari, with a belt tied about her full hips, Mother Yashoda pulled on the churning rope, laboring considerably. Her bangles and earrings moving and vibrating, and her whole body shaking. Because of her intense love for her child, her breasts were wet with milk. Her face, with its very beautiful eyebrows, was wet with perspiration, and malati flowers were falling from her hair. Purport: anyone who desires to be Krishna conscious in motherly affection or parental affection should contemplate the bodily features of Mother Yashoda. It is not that one should desire to become like Yashoda, for this is Mayavada. Either in parental affection or conjugal love, friendship or servitorship, in any way, we must follow in the footsteps of the inhabitants of Vrindavan, not try to become like them. Therefore, this description is provided here. Advanced devotees must cherish this description, always thinking of Mother Yashoda's features, how she was dressed, how she was walking and perspiring, how beautifully the flowers were arranged in her hair, and so on. One should take advantage of the full description provided here by thinking of Mother Yashoda in maternal affection for Krishna. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnana Jana Salakaya Saksul Militam Jain Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sachaitanya Manobhistam Stafetam Yena Bhutali Swayam Rupam Kadamayam Dadati Swa Padantikam Vandasi Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodato Godadhaya Puspavanto Chitu Chandu Tamondu Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gatar Sri Vasades Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pistaya Bhutali Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Itinamani Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharini Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Pachsatya Disatarini Vanchakalpatari Byacha Kripa Sundubhya Ebacha Patitanam Pavanam. So, thank you, the management and organizers, for giving me the opportunity to do some little service before I leave. So, this chapter basically is about the binding of Lord Krishna, baby Krishna, by Mother Yashoda. So we can imagine how someone could bind God, could bind Krishna. When yogis spend thousands of years in meditation just to seek out Lord Krishna as the super soul in the heart. And here someone is binding him with a rope. So we could see the glories of Mother Yashoda, which was as a result of Krita Punya Punja, heaps and heaps of pious merits. And so this text, there are a lot of things in this text. First of all, Prabhupada wants us to be, or the commentators, they want us to be able to utilize these descriptions of Mother Yashoda as a fulcrum for meditation. Because sometimes people are doing meditation and they are actually meditating on void, which means they are not meditating on anything, because meditation implies to concentrate the mind, to saturate the mind with God consciousness or Krishna consciousness. So here we can saturate our mind saturate our consciousness with the thick descriptions given here in a narrative by Srila Vasudev himself in the main text. So, one of the things that we can look at is that Mother Yasoda's breasts were oozing with milk. Why? Because of intense love for her child. Now we can't think about love that could be so intense that could propel that type of positive change in the individual. So we do have different relationships with the Lord, but Mother Yasoda's relationship with Krishna is that of parental affection. So as a mother, she has a chance to be able to nurse Krishna, feed Krishna, take care of him. And if we, the background of the story and even in the verses that follow, we'll find that when Mother Yasoda was doing this, the churning process, she has also simultaneously set up some milk on another stove. In other words, she has competencies of what? Multitasking. Multitasking is something so deadly wanted by professionals, especially in the fields of management, because they wanted to do just not one thing, but to be able to do multiple things at the same time to be able to attain expedited performance or productivity. So this is the case of Mother Yasoda. Not only was she attending or did she set up a pot of milk, she was also nursing Krishna, because Krishna came by, climbed on her, and she was feeding Krishna. However, when she noticed that the milk was flowing over, she had to temporarily, go for it. But then, like abandoning Krishna, Children, they want our attention. They want the attention of the parents, especially the mother. And because the mother has intense love for the child also reciprocates. We may claim to be the breadwinners, but in most cases we don't even know what our children are passing through. It's only the mother who is there 24/7 to attend to their social needs, the domestic needs, their healthcare needs, their intellectual needs, their spiritual needs. So, Mother Yasoda's life in Krishna's upbringing is very, very glorious. And the fact remains that, like in the Prabhupada it is mentioned, especially for those of us who are in the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, we have to follow the footsteps of the Vrajabasis. And so in the Prabhupada it is mentioned, we could really think about the activities of Mother Yasoda. Her dress, that is given a thick description here. And this is what basically in the academy is called narratology, because it gives us a narration, a thick description about the phenomenon. And even that phenomenon of love is given some symptoms. That here in this case, because of that intense love for her child, milk was oozing out from her breast. So when we have children, this should not be just a lila. When we do have children, our primary service to Prabhupada, our primary service to Krishna is to be able to lovingly care for our children in Krishna consciousness. So this is a good example. You may say, well, I don't have the time. I remember I was traveling in the U.S. So I went to one community. I won't mention the community. I went to one community, devotional community. So we had a class in the morning. They're mainly professionals living in the area. So we had a class in the morning. Before then, there was a japa. So when we were doing the japa, early in the morning, these professionals, husband and wives and children, they drove down. So when we were doing the japa, there was this little boy. I think at that time he was like maybe 4 years or 3 years or so. When we were doing the japa, so the father was also sitting in the japa room. He was doing japa. And this boy came and sat on the laps of the father. And I was watching. And then the father pulled out this boy and, sat him on a mat. So I was really boiling. I was fuming with anger. Because that basically is a serious emotional abuse. So after the japa, I asked him, why did you do this to your child? He said he has to chant japa. I said, if you care for your japa so much, you should wake up when your child is sleeping and do your japa. When your child wakes up, you must give him attention. So we can't use Krishna consciousness as a facade to not really intensely love our children and be there to take care of their social and spiritual needs. In Krishna consciousness, in our movement, we are supposed to be Rupa Nungas, following the footsteps of Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami and the other 6 of the Goswamis, they were very much mad after Krishna, intensely preaching. And so, we don't just be Babajis, we don't sit at one place and try to save our neck. Anyone can save their neck. But the point is, we could do, if even it comes to multitasking out like Mother Yashoda, we should adopt strategies that will enhance our loving relations, that will deepen our loving relationship, our loving care with other devotees around us. Because Krishna is not there before us as a baby, right? Mother Yashoda is able to have that opportunity because of heaps and heaps of pious merits. But we can also still follow the footsteps of Mother Yashoda by understanding the need to dedicate our emotions, our loving emotions to Krishna, to be able to revitalize our dormant loving service to Krishna. That loving service like Mother Yashoda was exhibiting, it is right there in a dormant state in all conditioned souls. Krishna consciousness is a matter of reviving that dormant loving relationship with Krishna. And in most cases, it could be so easy because we don't need to leave what we are doing, we don't need to leave our homes, we don't need to leave our profession, we don't need to leave whatever we are doing, but we could, like using the words of Prabhupada, we could dovetail whatever we are doing in the loving service of Krishna in a very intense way too. And so, when we reflect on the descriptions that are given here, it could serve as a great momentum for meditation. Because the 24 hours of the day that we flip around here and there, we could have these descriptions lingering in our consciousness. And we may be talking and laughing with somebody, but we are thinking about Mother Yashoda, how she was putting on a yellow saffron sari and taking care of Krishna. These days we find that the mothers, some of the mothers, they don't love their children. They even kill their children. That is what we call now familicide. You could Google that. Google that on the web. Familicide means the mother comes one day, out of frustration, she carries a gun, kills all the children, and kills herself. It's happening right now. I've seen so many cases. In fact, I was doing some research on that. Oh, the father comes one day, and out of frustration, he carries a gun, he kills the wife, he kills the children, and turns the gun to himself. Kali Yoga, we are progressing very rapidly. And so, this is not the type of loving affection that we are reading in the relationship of Mother Yashoda and Krishna. A mother should be able to sacrifice everything for their child. A father should be able to sacrifice everything for their family. And therefore, we cannot use Krishna consciousness as a facade to not be responsible to our children in a loving way. Sometimes we say, well, I'm very busy, I don't have time for the kids. That's not what Prabhupada wanted us to do. No, Prabhupada would prefer that we take care of our kids in a very loving way, because Krishna mentions in the Gita, Mama evam so jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. The children, everyone else is part and parcel of Krishna. So if we do take responsibility to be available for our children, if even it's 5 minutes, but it's a qualitative time, the children will feel very, very benefited. I remember I was in DC. So one day, the child, a teenager, the mother just came back from work, sat down on a couch, and this grown-up teenager, a boy, he comes and then lies flat on the mother's laps. He rested there for like over 45 minutes. The mother who just came back from work, she was forced to sit down there. There was a child, a little kid, right? That was in India here. Some researchers told us in a conference. This child went to the mother. He said, Mommy, how much are you being paid an hour at your work? That was in India here. He said, Mommy, how much are you being paid an hour? So traditionally, Indians' relationship with children is, what do you know? She ignored him. She completely ignored him. The next day, this boy came again. He said, Mama, how much are you being paid an hour? That was a 6-year-old boy. The mother again ignored. The third day, this boy came. Mama, how much are you being paid an hour? The mother felt something is wrong. So she was forced to tell the boy. She told the boy how much he's being paid an hour. The boy went to his room. Under his pillow, he brought out exactly that amount and gave it to the mother. Mama, give me an hour. This is not Purana. It happened just recently in India. So do children really need our loving affection? Yes. Some may be dying in silence. Some will come like that little child and say, hey, Mama, give me an hour. I know you're very busy, but give me an hour. So there's a lot we can learn from this text. And the primary thing is here is how Mother Yashoda was so much in intense loving service to Krishna, that although she was even multitasking, she was at the same time feeding Krishna. She had Krishna on her laps. We won't do that, right? But in those days, they don't have, what's it called? The thing they put children in, and so that they don't disturb the mother. What's the name? Yeah. So we don't want to be disturbed. We give birth to the child. We don't want to be disturbed. We just put the child, lock him or her up so that they don't come and disturb us. But children don't need our bonding. The children need to bond with the parents. So if you do have time, don't only give your child to the nanny. Mother Yashoda could have done all of that. King Nanda, he was a king in Vrindavan. So what was the lack? She could have just, allow the nannies to do everything. But no. The major things that have to do with the cooking, she would do it herself. Why would women do the cooking for the child? Why would they do the cooking for the family? Because whenever someone is cooking, his or her mindset, her consciousness goes into the grains. And we find one of the reasons why there is so much of divorce in Western countries is that people don't cook at home. They go to the restaurants to eat. And you are eating those grains. Whatever that person was thinking at the time of preparing the food, it goes into the grains. And so, Mother said they were churning milk or churning butter. But what does butter do to us? What does butter have to do with modern civilization in 21st century? Butter does a lot. There are 3 types of cholesterol. One is positive cholesterol, one is negative cholesterol. Recently, doctors, they've determined that there is a familial cholesterol that comes from the family. So, I remember some years ago, I went to Vrindavan for some treatment with a famous Ayurvedic doctor in the area. And so after the treatment, he put me on drinking, what's it called? Butter. Ghee, I mean. Drinking ghee. So I drank that ghee for like how many months? About 3 months or so. I went for medical test. The doctor, they raised an alarm. He said, why is it that your positive cholesterol is so high? I said, is it a bad thing? He said, oh, it's very good, but how did you make it? So, this Vedic system of eating, it enhances our healthy living. And therefore, all of these procedures that domestically the household, members of the household are involved in, they are for the betterment of the family. And so we should think, why would Prabhupada even encourage or emphasize that we should have our own communities, have our cows and all this? So these, even for health reasons, not just only protecting the cows, for health reasons, we stand at an advantage. And so, back to the point, the phenomenon of love. We all need love. But in most cases, we're putting our love in the wrong place. And then we'll get negative feedbacks, and we will always nearly commit suicide. So because children are really not given that love and affection, children also sometimes come to kill the parents. And when I say something, you can challenge me on that. So I want to give you a graphic example to this also. There was a young man, 35 years old, he left the Marines in the US. He was living with his parents. One day, the parents were sleeping in the bedroom. He was having a gun. So he went to the bedroom, parents were sleeping. And he shot the mom, he shot the dad, and he shot the dog. He killed all of them. And then he went to the cops and said, this is what I've done. This is what I've done. He killed his mom, killed his father, and killed the family dog. Oh yeah, Kali Yoga is making progress. And that is why Kalki will be coming perhaps sooner than expected. So, the bottom line is that we're talking about loving devotional service. Our service to our children is service to the family. And service to the family is service to community, because the family is a microcosm of the society, of the nation. And so we should not jump the gun. We should be responsible for our children. Hare Krishna. Any comments or questions? We have another 15 minutes or so. And watch the time, because I would not take even 1 minute of yours beyond 9 o'clock. I would choose to close the class before 9 than taking 1 minute of yours. Any comments or questions?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for the very inspiring class. My question to you is that you spoke about parents and how they should care about their children. So similarly, we understand that we need to love and care for our parents spiritually and physically. But what if it's very difficult for us to even converse with our parents, and you reach a certain stage where you cannot hear too much of what they're speaking, and they don't want to hear about Krishna consciousness more. It becomes very difficult. So, we pray for our parents that, Prabhupada, Krishna, please give our spiritual benefits to our parents. But after a certain point, we give Mahaprasad, but there's not much we can do. What can you say?
What is my advice on that? Right?
I didn't understand what you said.
He said, so you're asking, what have I got to say about that?
So how do we deal in a situation, like you were speaking about parents to children, so I'm asking, in my situation, it's very difficult for me to deal with my parents. So
Yeah, I've had a number of cases that some of us, we are very impatient. Once we become devotees, we think it's so easy, so simple. Hey, you parents, why not doing what I'm doing? You're not serious with your life. This is going to take you back to Godhead. Why can't you do this? We should be patient, and we should understand that not everyone is going to directly take to Krishna consciousness in this life, including our family members. So we should not be overly worried. We should be concerned that, yes, we should be concerned that our parents are not aligning with the system that we are following, but we should not be overly concerned. We should not be overly worried. There's a good cause to be concerned, but we should not be overly worried. We should not put ourselves in unnecessary anxieties. I'll give you a graphic example. I had an opportunity to encounter a number of devotees, and when I speak with them, the same thing. They are coming from a family where the parents are not resonating with the Krishna consciousness philosophy, or they don't even want to follow anything. And then at some point in time they get angry, and they don't want to deal with the parents anymore. It means that the love is just conditioned. It's conditional love. Just because someone is not following your religion or your practice, and then they're no longer in your good books. There was a boy from Delhi, a brahmachari. When he joined the movement, not only did the parents oppose it, they fought tooth and nail to get him out. But what he did was just to be visiting the parents. He was a brahmachari. He's still a brahmachari in the temple. What he did was to be visiting the parents and be giving them, prasadam. You know what? With time, the mother became a devotee, and he told me the mother chants 64 rounds on Ekadasi. He said, look, they gave me so much trouble Now she's more even advanced than me. Just see. We should be patient. In as much as your parents are not coming to create a barricade, at least if you're above 18 years, or if you're 18 years, traditionally, on international level, you are a young adult, and parents do not have the right to dictate to you whether you should practice Krishna consciousness or not. If you are below 18, that's a different situation. So what I'm saying in essence is that we need to be patient with family members. If they are not giving us, they are not being an obstacle, and we are just concerned about the need for them to be involved in Krishna consciousness, we should not get overly worried. Because with time, be friendly, be still loving, give them prasadam, give them the love without any motivation. And in due course of time, when they realize that although they are not following or they are not aligning with you, you still love them as usual, they will have a change of mind. It's a matter of time. So be patient with your family members. Give them prasadam, if they accept prasadam, and just be available for them when the need arises. Don't get too much worried. Not everyone, because we are doing it, so we think it's so easy. Why can't you do it? We should not think in that way. It's not, Krishna consciousness is not so easy either. And before you, just imagine, you have a family. Okay, you're going to have a PhD, and you come back home and you tell your siblings, you are a nonsense because you don't have a PhD. You should go and get a PhD. Come on. Krishna consciousness is the highest profile in spirituality. Not everyone in this life is going to align with it. Some people don't have sufficient pious merit. So we should motivate people accordingly. Don't get overly worried. Does it make some sense?
Yes, thank you, Maharaj.
What's the time now? Any other comments or questions? Okay, someone's asking.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you very much for a wonderful class and talking about the Varnashram a little bit. So my question is related to Varnashram. We as a community, ISKCON as a community is 650 temples strong, and we have so many centers around. But none of the centers, barring one or two, have a farm community or a Goshala along with it to make it self-sufficient.
You said none of these temples. Look, you have not traveled all over the world, and you are making a generalization. A generalization only should come when you have conducted an experiment. It's called when you conduct a quantitative research, then you can generalize. You have not conducted a quantitative research. You do not have a right to generalize. Because, I give you an example of some communities. You have also, in India here, you also have eco-village down there developing. Isn't that, a devotee community that, is farm-oriented? Yeah. So, we should not just generalize and say, because generalization is so easy, We don't see the things working the way we want as fast as possible. And so, boom, we generalize. Oh, we're not doing anything. Devotees have gone even to the extent of attacking the other devotees' projects in this movement. But someone presented a seminar against one other devotees' project, and that devotee came out with a counter presentation on the web. So we should be careful, because the world is a global village, and whatever we do impacts everyone else in the whole global system. So yeah, you have a good concern. Yeah, we should develop the Varnashram, Devi Varnashram Dharma. You are already doing it. Go to Echo Village. You're already doing it, even right here in India. I think in South India also there are some, farm communities. Why are you generalizing? Have you traveled all over India and this thing is not going on? It takes time, okay? I know you want it to happen just now. It's what we say, quick fix, just now. Rome was not built overnight. It takes time, okay?
Thank you for the answer, Maharaj. And thank you for correcting me. I was saying that there are some farm communities which we have in our movement, but we need more. Because what is happening is new temples are coming, but the new temples in the design phase don't have the farms or the goshalas alongside.
What's your service? What's your service? Sankirtan? You travel around for Sankirtan?
I'm doing youth preaching in Delhi and Bareilly.
Okay, so look, this is one of the things we say in the academy, in scholarship, we say problem solving. Okay, if you have an initiative, you should follow it up, and then others will join you. To just someone was telling me, I was in London, so my friend was suggesting something. I needed something, and he was suggesting something. So I told him, listen, I don't need your suggestions. You do something practical. If you cannot do it, just shut up. I told him that. So, my point is, if I badly want to do something, okay, for instance, when I joined the movement, I saw one gap. And that gap was academic preaching. And I started doing some things there. But then, when my spiritual master, Bhakti Vasudev Swami, when he saw what I was doing, he asked me to do more, and then imposed a lot of stuff on my head. So, initiative sometimes, could create a positive change, a positive spiritual change in the environment. But there's a lot of burden when you have to create initiative. And therefore, I believe in not just making a comment about what is going on, or trying to see that this needs to be done, this needs to be done. Even in the US military, when you say something, when you complain about something, the general will say, you fix it, you get it fixed. You do it. So, yes, I would suggest that instead of doing youth preaching, and you have so much interest in farming, you should take up some that responsibility so that we can follow your footsteps. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Maharaj.